Arsenal are said to be advanced for a world-class player, according to a number of media outlets. Liverpool growing confidence of signing one of the best strikers in the world. And Manchester United about to raid Sporting Lisbon. We're going to break down these stories. We want your opinions on them, though. Of course, we'll give you ours. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing. Let's do this. According to David Ornstein, Arsenal expect to sign a world-class star that Arteta loves. That is the story that we're reading this afternoon. That coincides with Ben Jacobs, who says that Arsenal are quite advanced in their bid to sign Martín Zubimendi. Personal terms have already been agreed between the two parties. So the player has committed his future to Arsenal. The situation is advanced. And this couples in with something that David Ornstein has said. And this is all in the backdrop of Real Madrid trying to hijack this deal. Real Madrid trying to come in and scupper Arsenal's attempts. And what David Ornstein has said here, this is printed in the Give Me Sport website, is that Arsenal are expecting Zubimendi to join them from Real Sociedad in the summer. I don't know if this means it is completely done. But for some time now, they have been working on the basis that he'll be coming in. A huge amount of work went into getting him to that point, while Edu was still the sporting director, and subsequently when Jason Ayotu took over the job on an interim basis. Berta will be starting soon as Edu's permanent successor, so we will hopefully learn a bit more on this one and other areas in due course. So Ben Jacobs, David Ornstein being very, very forthright in the fact that they believe Arsenal are advanced in that stage. Ornstein didn't use the word advanced, of course. Ben Jacobs did, but they're both alluding to exactly the same thing. Yes, Real Madrid may be interested. Yes, other teams may come in. But Arsenal are currently, according to them, operating under the impression that they have the player all but sewn up. The players agreed personal terms. He wants to become an Arsenal player. They will essentially trigger that release clause once the transfer window opens and make him an Arsenal player. Now, what would be quite sensible, I would suppose, there's going to be these two transfer window periods. One that's just before the World Club Championships, so that Chelsea and City are able to sign new players for themselves for that tournament. But that is also open to every other Premier League club as well. I think Arsenal have got to strike quickly with this one. I think they've got to get the job done, get it over the line, and make sure that Zubimendi becomes their player. The longer it goes on, the more chance there is that his head could be turned or he changes his mind, as he has done before with Liverpool. But we saw the stories, we reported on them, and I stated it a few days ago. It would be a PR disaster for Arsenal to miss out on him now. But all the news coming out of the Emirates is they are still highly confident. Personal terms are still agreed. There hasn't been any backtracking, and they are advanced in that situation. But I'd love to get your thoughts and opinions on that. Gooners, do you believe it will happen? Do you believe Real Madrid will get it done? Do you believe Arsenal will land the player over Real Madrid that are now pushing for him? And that's open to everybody who is watching this video. Give us your opinions on that right now. Before we go any further, I want to give a big shout out to Magic Mind and their new product that I am using every single day, which is their gummies. You can get 25% off, which is amazing. Plus, they give you a money-back guarantee if they're not for you, if you don't like them, if you don't feel the upsides. But I eat one of these I eat about 3 a day. And instead of eating, I'm not going to name the brands because we'll probably get sued, but instead of eating some refined sugar, some sweet from some company, I just eat their gummies. They give me a nice little energy boost. They're full of lots of vitamins and minerals. Those are health benefits to them. It's just so much better. They're delicious. They're nutritious. And as I will keep talking about until the cows come home, I'm on a massive health kick in 2025. And the brands and companies that I'm using to help me do that and I want you to do the same. And if we can provide you a little bit of discount, then let's get that done. But scan the QR code that you can see on the screen. Go check out their website now and have a little look here at their gummies. They've got a big welcome offer for you as well. The deal's ending in the next 24 hours, so you want to go and take advantage of this right now. But check out their website. Obviously, I do the daily shots with them as well. But go take a little look at it. Excellent product. It really, really is. So scan that QR code that you can see up there, or click the link in our description below. Now, moving on to Manchester United, the top story here from Give Me Sports states that even though he has forced his way back into Rúben Amorim's team, Manchester United would still be willing to sell Alejandro Garnacho this summer if their valuation for the winger is met. And a lot of people are frustrated by this. But for me, I'm going to keep a clear head. As long as we are improving on the player, as long as that area of our team becomes stronger, I am open to almost anybody in an attacking sense leaving. Probably barring, I know Bruno can play in that 10 role, but I'm talking about the guys that you would normally consider wingers or strikers. I'm married to none of them barring Ahmad. He's the only one that I'd be fuming to see leave. The rest are just not consistent enough, good enough, or maybe don't fit the direction the club is going in terms of style of play. In another bit of news today, it says that Man United head coach Rúben Amorim is targeting Sporting winger Francisco Trincão as a key part of the squad's overhaul this summer. Now, for me, Trincão's a talented player. Very, very talented player. Understands the system. As he's maturing into his mid-20s, he's becoming a very, very potent and high-quality player as well. Not just for Sporting domestically, but in their European campaign. Plus, I watched him in a Portugal squad and shirt over the course of the international break. A highly talented player. And what I like about this link, and it's just food for thought, 25 turning 26 next season. I would love a signing of that age bracket because it would dispel the myth, or not even myth, dispel the rumor and the story instantly that we're only going to buy young kids. And I would love that to be obliterated. I'd love the first deal of the summer to be a player of this age bracket because it would just be nice to stop that talk very, very early on. But look, I think only maybe 4 or 5 players at Man United are safe this summer. And you would put Heaven in that category because we've just signed him. You would put Dorgu in that category because we've just signed him. I think Bruno Fernandes has played himself into safety. I would say that De Ligt, Maz, Yoro, so we're on 6 now, Ahmad. I think those 7 are genuinely safe. And I mean, the manager, I think he loves and likes these players. I feel everybody else, for one reason or another, could be on the chopping block. Mainu, for me, should be on that list. Everybody else, I think there is the distinct possibility you could be sold. 1, if the right money is offered. 2, if the correct and better replacement can be purchased. We obviously know 4 or 5 players' contracts are running out as well, so their heads are definitely on the chopping block, as it were. But it's going to be a very intriguing summer for Manchester United indeed. But as we do on the Football Terrace, we will report on the stories. We will tell you what's being said, whether they say something's advanced, whether they say something is a number 1 target, whether they say it won't happen. We'll talk about it. The titles will say it. The thumbnails will put it out there. But the conversation outside of that is, let's talk about this individual story. If Garnacho was to leave and Trincao was to be the replacement, improvement or worse for Man United? I'd love to get your opinion on that in the comment section below. You can also say whether you think the deals will happen or not. Of course, let's have that conversation. But just on a player level, would that be an improvement in your humble opinion? Now, moving on to Liverpool. And I'm sorry to put this story out there, Newcastle fans, but it's important to. More breaking and major news regarding Alexander Isak. Liverpool sources have reported that they are increasingly confident of signing Alexander Isak. They believe that Newcastle could realistically have to accept offers of around 120 million, according to the player. These reports, these sources are stating, and again, let me be very clear because there'll already be comments that have been typed by people. Terry believes everything he reads. Me and a lot of the Football Terrace community always laugh at those comments because my regular viewers, my members, my actual subscribers and viewers that watch the Football Terrace content because they enjoy it. I understand I don't believe probably even 50% of the stories that I read, but of course I report on them. You have your opinion, I have mine. And there might be 10, 15, 20 different opinions on the same story. That's the discourse that we have. It's, oh, wow, we've read the story. What do you make of it? How do you see it going? And the reason why I bring that up is because there is consistent, positive and confident reports coming out of Liverpool that they're going to get this player, that Newcastle will stop negotiations of a new contract. They're going to take stock and they're going to offer something new, that Liverpool are pushing hard. They've already spoken to his camp. I think right now, Liverpool appear to be pushing harder and they're briefing the media more than Arsenal have on this circumstance. They're even doing more than Newcastle that currently own the football player. And I find this intriguing because Liverpool are a club who rarely give any information away when it comes to transfers. Now, I think this is a very difficult transfer for any club to get. Real Madrid, Liverpool, it doesn't matter. Very, very hard to get over the line. Very, very difficult transfer to complete. The whole way along, though, my thought process has been the same. And the way you get Isak out, and maybe for that price of 120, under that 150, is going to be turning the player's head. Making the player essentially turn around to Newcastle and say, I love you, thank you, but I want to leave. Now, of course, Newcastle fans will push back, and I understand we won't be forced to sell. We'll just tell him no. And that's fair. But of course, you don't want him running down his contract and the value going. A good business move and a good football move is to go, okay, he doesn't want to be here, or let's sell him for the maximum price and let's reinvest that into good, high-quality players that want to be at Newcastle. Typically speaking, that's how most well-run clubs operate. So this is going to be an intriguing transfer. We're going to report on the stories when they come out because there might be one tomorrow that says, he's going to sign a new deal at Newcastle, and we'll report on it. And we'll say, this is what the story says. What do you make of it? Give us your opinions. Remember, we are not an outlet as in the source. We are a fan channel that aggregates news and talks about it like normal everyday people do down the pub, in the cafe, in the school playground, in the staff room. Please do not think for a single second that any fan channel is a source. Anyone who's there are a lot of people that think that, and again, me and the Football Terrace community in our group chats, if you're a member, you're in the group chats, we talk about this thing a lot, and we do find it interesting how people think, why people ever think that. It's unbelievable that people have that. And I think some of it is because there are some other content creators that are a little bit, they don't like transfer stories because don't think they do too well with it. They struggle to break it down or to understand or digest it. And you see that a lot. I saw a content creator last summer go, I don't understand how yesterday Arsenal could be close to signing someone, and today the media is saying this club's close to signing them. Well, it's two different journalists from two different newspapers. Ironically, as well, there's irony in this, I think, from two different countries. They've been given different information from different camps. We at that moment of it being printed, none of us knew whether one was telling the truth or one was lying, or whether one would come true and one wouldn't come true. But we talk about it as fans and what we think is most likely. But I was watching this content creator and he just couldn't get his head around it. And now what I see that person do is like slags off anyone that covers transfers. And I'm like, I think that's a bit disingenuous to do, if I'm being honest. But look, Liverpool are confident. Newcastle are confident. Arsenal, they're in the background. This is going to be an amazing saga. But for me, I think it's very open-ended. I believe he could be leaving Newcastle this summer if a club can convince him to turn his head. But if Newcastle make that contract offer almost too good to turn down, plus demonstrate, look, we're in this level of Europe, we're spending X amount of money, these are the profiles, these are the individuals we're going to buy. It is not, I know some people keep saying Newcastle, be a little Newcastle, this is big Liverpool, this is big Arsenal, this is big whoever. Listen, Newcastle is a very attractive proposition, and that has to be said. As ever, though, your opinions on these stories, on these players, is the most important element for us. So I'm really looking forward to seeing your comments below. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Go check out Magic Mind right now. Their gummies are amazing. I don't think you'll be disappointed, but you get a money-back guarantee anyway. So go and give it a whirl, give it a try by scanning that QR code on the screen, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.